Possibly the biggest misconception in the collective unconscious involves the concept of authenticity. The people that think they're being authentic are often concealing the deepest source of inauthenticity within them by hiding behind the stereotypical standard of what they think authenticity means. And the more boldly somebody creates and shows that particular standard, the more other people believe that that is the kind of authenticity they should look for and even create within themselves, leading to a sort of cultish formation of authentic standards, which are really just false masks created under the guise of authenticity. The true kind of authenticity is something highly unpopular and even uncomfortable, because if we were to tap into the root cause of authenticity, we would be disarmed on a battlefield of illusion. We would feel like there is no more ability to hide and to create any kind of illusions beneath which our true face lies. What we need to understand about authenticity is there's only two paths that we can even interpret this concept in. One is stereotypical, and one involves the demolition of any and all stereotypes. True authenticity is not about looking and feeling a certain way. It's about upholding a certain level of transparency, which allows us to be all qualities of the self and to be unanimous inside and out. Now, the tricky part is that when we're being transparent, we're revealing everything that we house deep down. And it's obvious why a lot of people wouldn't want to be completely transparent. Because if you're hiding anything from yourself, you likewise won't be able to reveal those things to other people. If you don't really know yourself, you cannot be authentic, because you're not able to tap into the aspects of your own subconscious mind that is keeping your truth elusive to you. Another part of this is if you're being completely transparent, you might be displaying some of your darkest aspects. Those are those same unintegrated aspects of your psyche. Meaning if you're holding certain pain points, feeling triggered, experiencing inner patterns of wounding, or behaviors of reservation, insufficiency, or even self-hatred, then if you were to be transparent, and authentic for that matter, you would be revealing all of these unintegrated aspects, leading to even more schisms forming in your outer reality. The goal with authenticity is not just to start exposing everything you are harboring in your inner world, in your outer reality. It's to begin to understand what are you actually embodying within yourself by making the decision, do you want to live a life of beautiful transparency, or do you want to be living in a constantly split and semi-fabricated world in which you're hiding your truth from yourself and likewise hiding it from other people? The pathway of true authenticity that involves growth, evolution, joy, and love is the path you embark on when you decide that there is enough game playing to be had in the inner sphere. You make this decision when you realize that you're tired of all of the inauthentic tricks that you've been playing on yourself, and you're tired of experiencing the consequences of that in your outer reality. If you're harboring anything that you are hiding from yourself, you're going to be engaging in chronic escapism in some shape or form. And this is where sometimes inauthenticity can be masked as authenticity, which is highly favored in society these days. A lot of people might think authenticity looks like being overtly extroverted, meaning showing yourself in all of these bold, bright colors when you're in social settings. Maybe it's being outspoken, showing a certain aspect of your emotional experience, which might be joyous, excited, exuberant, very boastful, or big, because you're displaying the egoic personality, which wants to show a lot of itself. But the nuance here is that true authenticity is not about displaying only one fragment of your emotional range. That's where the heart of inauthenticity lies. Anybody who's focused on being more extroverted than introverted intentionally, by way of hiding from themselves certain aspects of their own subconscious mind that they don't want to integrate, are going to look somewhat authentic outside of them. They might be very talkative, they might be very bold, risk takers, adventure seekers, people that like to talk and be very enmeshed in the outer reality. However, these people are not actually being authentic. In the final analysis of their consciousness, what they're experiencing is a complete splitting away from the innermost part of them that needs to be understood. People that are overtly themselves, just showing certain parts of their personality, are actually concealing from themselves the deepest splits, the inner child, different parts of them that demonstrate wounded behaviors, and inner trauma that needs to be reconciled by them choosing to be more introverted. The paradox is that there is no way to be authentic without being authentic both in the introverted and in the extroverted sense, which means one of the main ways to call out somebody that is not truly authentic is to realize if they're only introverted or only extroverted in nature. If an extrovert is not comfortable being introverted as well, there's something inauthentic about their presentation. Likewise, if an introvert is unable to also experience themselves in a more extroverted fashion, they're hiding their ability to be themselves from themselves. They're not able to see that the world is an opportunity for them to use their authenticity to display their essence in the world. Reality is a canvas that allows you to experience your true essence within and outside of you. So whatever you're suppressing from yourself, be it something that you don't want to recognize or you don't want to integrate about you or anything else around you, is going to show up in some way due to that continual repression. If you're being inauthentic with yourself, you're going to constantly feel the need to run away from yourself. So this might show up in being highly distracted, choosing to be boastful in certain extroverted ways, perhaps even diving into social interactions with a desire to be seen, to be heard, to share, to talk more than you're able to even listen, because all of these mechanisms of action are allowing you to avoid your true self and the inner parts of you that want to be heard most, but that are being drowned out by the noise of your outer experience. Likewise, somebody that thinks they're totally introverted is actually going to be experiencing a split because there's a part of them that isn't identifying with the introvert. There's a part of everybody's psyche that wants to experience transparency, that wants the openness, the energetic exchange, the experience of fullness and wholesomeness that makes life worth living, because purpose is encapsulated in the energetic interchange that begins within and must create a conduit outside of the self to experience fulfillment and the spreading of love. If we think about the energy of love, we can more easily understand the nature of authenticity. When somebody's in a loving state, they're combining themselves with the environment. They're taking something else into them and they're experiencing true connection. If they're allowing themselves to be in the frequency of love, by nature of that, they're demolishing everything that comes in the way of love. They're able to feel lovingly, think lovingly, and use themselves to create the propagation of more love within and outside of them. Therefore, it's impossible to be in the frequency of love and be inauthentic at the same time. Therefore, people that are inauthentic are not capable of truly loving, because what they're doing is blocking themselves from the experience of even holding the space for love that is required for them to maintain love in their hearts and in all parts of their physical and non-physical experience. So let's talk about why this would be. Why would anybody be afraid of love, of authenticity, of the freedom that comes as the result of removing these masks and choosing to not be in an inauthentic place of deprivation? The catch is that because we are not societally programmed to be authentic, there is very little advantage that the ego can devise for authenticity. Why should we be authentic? What purpose is it going to serve? If you think about the immediate implications of being authentic, some of them are being so open to the experience of feeling that you experience the deepest, darkest emotions as much as you do the positive ones. If you're authentic, you're experiencing your consciousness as a pure extension of Source. If you're feeling through the eyes and lens of God, you're going to be experiencing complete transparency, meaning when something happens outside of you, you're going to feel sensitive to that outer experience. That is authenticity. It's removing the filters of your identity to the point that you quite literally become as part of the experience outside of you. You're authentically feeling in such a way that everything has an impact on you. Now, this doesn't mean you don't have your own identity and you're not putting up energetic barriers to boundary your experience. But what it means is that you're able to be sensitive to everything outside of you. And the degree to which that ends up creating your inner experience is up to you. But the point is that you feel fully and completely, and that can sometimes be overwhelming for some people to face. If you're feeling completely, that means that anything that vibrates the level of inauthenticity is going to boomerang outside of your field. When you contact the frequency of somebody whose eyes do not share the message of authenticity, whose heart is not in a resonant state, who is lying to themselves or lying to you, who is upholding certain manipulative or perhaps gaslighting tactics to deflect attention from core truth, then you're going to be repelled and repulsed by that individual. This means that every time you contact lies, inauthenticity, and falsity outside of you, which is a common theme within the Matrix, you're going to feel disturbed, and you're going to feel like you need to go in the other direction. Now, this does not mean that you need to feel like you are constantly resisting the Matrix or the inauthenticity all around you. All it means is that you must choose to be devoted to the path of authenticity, which is definitely more difficult than choosing to go along with the herd and mass conformity. If you're choosing to be authentic, you're choosing to face the war of cultural decline, oppression, injustices, and all kinds of programming and conditioning agendas outside of you head on. To choose that your is going to be more authentic than everything else that you're being subjected to. You're choosing to see straight through the illusions. You're choosing to say no to all of the factors that aren't in alignment with you. And you're choosing to prioritize this experience above everything else. Now, part of you might think this is selfish, and the truth is that is your ego speaking back to you to warn you not to comply with the demands of your soul. If you feel afraid of choosing authenticity, you are more convinced you must contain the factors in your life that are keeping you inauthentic, because that affords you certain comforts, certain gains, certain attachments. But that's really what you need to now reevaluate. Why maintain certain attachments, connections, situations, and illusions in your life if you now realize inauthenticity is a thing that keeps you bound to self-destruction in the subtle sense and dissension through the lens of the soul? Whatever you're currently doing that keeps you apart from your true self is going to eventually lead to a feeling of separation. If you're unable to be completely authentic with yourself, you're going to be experiencing just a small part of your potential, because you're not even able to tap into the part of you that knows you are meant to be experiencing more in life. Therefore, you may be okay with certain situations, people, and things that don't satisfy the deeper urge for integration and oneness. You're going to be swallowing different inauthentic factors all around you that maybe you aren't meant to accept. Maybe you're meant to defy everything false outside of you, because that is the test that your spirit is guiding you through. Are you going to play the game of life in complete compliance with all of these stereotypical norms that are trying to reduce you to a false state of self? Or are you going to become the full range of conscious experience and break through the illusions to find the path back home? Are you going to bring love into your reality and your full experience? Or are you going to stay partial and choose to subject yourself to more harm by choosing to not dissolve all of the filters and limitations that you have once imposed against the state of authenticity? So you might wonder now, how can you start to choose authenticity despite the initial drawbacks that your ego might be trying to use to convince you this isn't a good idea? First of all, it's important to understand why you have not been choosing to walk the path of authenticity in the past. Who has instilled in your mind that this is a bad idea? What stereotypes have once been embedded in your mind that made you believe your authenticity is wrongful, causes disobedience, or is not permissible as a behavior and as a way of life? If you're afraid of your own authenticity, you're harboring shame on an innermost level related to your true self, and uncovering this is essentially important in order to clear the air and become in alignment with your core truth and the beauty of your spirit. At some point in your life, you might have experienced the pushback from being authentic because somebody simply didn't like the energy you were in. Maybe they didn't like something about your core truth, your radiance, your power as a feminine, or your strength as a masculine, your wisdom, your awareness, or your ability to unearth their shadows and to show them, the other party, that once put you down, the size of their ego or their own distortion. If you ever felt hijacked because of your authenticity, You are being hijacked by the pain point in somebody else's field that keeps them from integrating their true self. And so inauthenticity spreads like a virus, creating an epidemic of more loneliness, disintegration, and disconnection in reality. Because people spread inauthenticity like that pathogen, creating pain when the true self is identified with. And the only way we can cure this is by choosing to get reacclimated with the frequency of our truth. Why is your truth something you are afraid of? Think about the value it actually holds. If you're afraid of your truth, you're afraid of the reaction that your truth will produce. If you were to come clean with yourself right now and choose to approach tomorrow with sheer authenticity within yourself, you're first going to start to realize what things you've been keeping from yourself. What dangerous perspectives and realizations do you really harbor deep down? What, when included in your physical experience, will lead to massive transformation? Maybe it'll cause you to redefine the way you perceive life, relate to different people, approach work, your commitments, responsibilities, and yourself at every level of being. If you feel that you are keeping yourself from total authenticity, you're likely afraid of the changes that will be incurred when you choose to adopt this authentic way of life. And so what you're really fearing is the strategy-less experience of being you. You're afraid of letting go of stereotypes, illusions, and conforming to people and things that you think need to be pleased. But the reality is, you cannot please anybody by being inauthentic. You are only allowing more illusions. Illusions in them, illusions in yourself, and collective consciousness gaps to endure if you're choosing to play this game of inauthenticity. Authenticity is literally the red pill that you take in order to put yourself in this frequency of powerful truth and knowing. It's when somebody's able to look at you and realize what you stand for because you're embodying it completely. If you're only partially embodying your knowing, your awareness, your values, or your power, you're going to feel like reality can't really connect with the true you. People can't see the true you. People can't respect you at your core. You're not able to experience the opportunities in alignment with your highest self, and you're simply disconnected from people that can love the true you because you're not allowing yourself to love your own authenticity. And so the question is, why would you be maintaining this? Ask yourself where you're keeping yourself from this potent antidote of loneliness and narcissism, which is pure love and your authenticity becoming the top priority in your life. Remember, too, that the fear of being disliked will be dispelled as soon as you become okay with actually being disliked. Meaning, if you're afraid of being authentic because you know the implication is going to be certain people rejecting you, then actually embrace that could be the biggest gift you can give yourself. Instead of fearing the obvious, that not everybody's going to like your authenticity, realize that the sooner you become authentic, the sooner you can align with the souls that vibrate at your frequency, that align with your core values, that maintain the integrity that your soul wants you to be maintaining, and to see and love the real you. Everything else is just a smoke and mirrors game that causes distortion and you living a lie that you would never want yourself to experience if you were your soul looking down at you, wanting you to experience the most enriching life possible. And so let's all conspire to be more like our higher self, and like God, perceiving reality as a dance of authenticity, which can be dispelled down to the level of being pure energy, pure boundaryless consciousness, experiencing all things as an emanation of what is possible and what is felt deep down. Whatever is felt in your field is something that must be understood and taken as a part of you. And if you're afraid of feeling, that's where you should begin. Authenticity is being able to hold space for your own feelings so that you can hold space for the meaning of life. And once you're able to, authenticity will not be something scary for you. It will be second nature, and it will be your way of relating to the world and discovering what is truly meant for you and what was never meant to create harm in your experience.